Man, what's happening, man? You got Marshawn Beast Mode Lynch,
Doug Hendrickson,
and Gavin Newsom, and you're listening to Politickin.
June on the beat. June on the beat.
Welcome to another episode of Politickin.
Yeah, welcome. By the way, welcome to Chicago in the DNC.
We are at the DNC. First time I've been to the DNC. I've been to 30 Super Bowls in a row, never the DNC. Pretty cool element. I like it.
This is my Super Bowl. This is the political Super Bowl. And by the way, where the hell are you, Marshawn? Why aren't you out here?
Hey, Gav, I'm in an undisclosed location right now. You know what I mean? Can't be telling my whereabouts. Can't give up my coordinates or nothing like that. But just understand where I'm at. They got the best motherfucking cigars that you could ever bless your motherfucking lungs with. You understand?
We're sitting here talking politics, and Marshawn somewhere warm weather. I would assume warm weather somewhere with cigars.
Hey, Fresh, stop pocket watching, my boy. Stop pocket watching, my boy. But man, make sure y'all go holler at my youngsters out there in Chirac. Tell them I said what's happening.
We will.
Y'all gonna be good though, man. I gave y'all the G pass, so it's good. You feel me?
Man, I'll tell you what. Right now, we're giving no pass to Donald Trump. This has been a hell of a convention the last few days. And by the way, Michelle Obama, Barack Obama. We're going to hear from Kamala Harris later. But this has been one hell of an experience. But tonight we've got a few interesting guests.
Who do we have on?
We got Tony Goldwyn, former president of the United States.
Love Tony.
As seen on TV, President Fitz. Don't you watch Scandal?
That's my boy Fitz, man. But look, see, man, Fitz, I'm going to have to tell you, though, because you feel me, Nam Deuce is my boy. You know what I'm talking about?
Namdi's married to Kerry Washington, who is Tony's wife on Scandal.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm a huge fan of the show, but sometimes I don't like how Fitz was handling my boy Nam Deuce girl. So I mean, I might have to put some hands on that motherfucker. He better be glad that I'm not in the building.
And by the way, I believe, Marshawn, we have one of your favorites, Anthony Anderson, on tonight. Anthony Anderson, who is, by the way, a rock star. Anthony Anderson has been a grinder from day one. Unbelievable. Done
from
everything.
Compton, California.
And
so we got the President of the United States.
They're not like us? Is that what it is?
Anthony
They're not like us, Marshawn? Is that what it is? From Compton?
There you go. Who sang that song?
I knew that. It's my guy, Kendrick Lamar. Yes, I do. I'm all about Kendrick Lamar.
California's poet laureate.
Baby. Come on.
Our poet laureate, Kendrick Lamar.
Come on, Marin City, Tupac. We got Snoop. We got Dre. We got them all in Cali, Marshawn. You know that.
I'm just tell y'all like this right now. Y'all just got a couple points.
I love it.
And a little California love out here at the DNC, Marshawn.
All right, now who made that phrase right there?
I made that.
California love.
We nominated the Vice President of the United States to be our nominee for the next President of the United States. And we had a little California love intro. And then I announced our 482 votes.
And by the way, you did an incredible job.
How many votes?
482.
What do that even mean, though?
It means she's got all the votes she needs to be the nominee of the Democratic Party. That's all it is. Delegates from each state. That's it.
And Marshawn, we can't wait to see you next week, but this is a great episode. Let's enjoy one more night or two more nights.
You're making it seem like the show is over. We just finna jump into this bitch. You know what I'm talking about?
We're about to jump in. You're absolutely right. Yeah. We're about to jump in to Politickin.
Yeah.
If we talk to our friends, if we listen to our neighbors, if we work like we've never worked before, if we hold firm to our convictions, we will elect Kamala Harris as the next President of the United States and Tim Walz as the next Vice President of the United States.
Who's gonna have more fun than this podcast right now?
Hey, man, what's happening?
What's up with you, big dog?
Shit, I'm trying to be like you when I get older.
No, I wouldn't. What's that you smoking?
Oh, look, this right here, you can't worry about this. This came from an undisclosed location that I can't give the coordinates out to.
I
but
understand.
You know that it's good.
Oh, okay, cool.
You know what I mean?
Marshawn, I got to tell you, I love that fit right now, bro. That is a fucking fit right there.
Yeah,
Jesus.
That ain't bad. That ain't bad.
We got to put that on Gavin. We got to see if Gavin can rock that.
No, I don't know if Gavin
thank God I'm turned out.
It take a special type of individual to come dripped out, you know what I'm talking about, like this, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir. I know what you're talking about. Hey man, when you get back from your undisclosed location, you got to let me know when you're back in the city, man, so we can connect.
Yeah, because, man, you feel I appreciate what you do.
Respect.
I took a leap of faith and, got into a new little career.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a lot of experience in that shit that I love to pick your brain on. You feel me?
Oh, for sure, man, because I like what you're doing, man. You found a nice little lane for yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? Man. Yeah.
It's almost like some hustle and flow type shit. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, shit. I hear what you're talking about.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Big dog, man. First of all, it's a pleasure. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to get with you, man. It's a pleasure.
That's what's up, baby. That's what's up, man.
And probably one of the things I watched you in that I probably liked the best was the Transformer shit.
Okay.
Yeah, because you feel me? For me, seeing you in that type of position, it was like, it was a whole different little look. And it just showed your range and your length. Like, you know what I mean? Don't categorize me and don't put me in no box type shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, my man. I love this union. You, Gavin Newsom, myself, and Doug. I don't know how this shit got put together.
I think we need a fourth host, Anthony. You want to come join us? Come on.
I got you, baby. I got you. I would disclose my location all the time.
No, they're my kids, though. You know what I mean? They're my two sons right there. You know what I mean? They're my beluga sons, though. You feel me?
Looking forward to the inheritance, Marshawn. That's what I'm talking.
Look, check it out. It's gonna be greater later.
Hey, Marshawn, you have to ask the answer to this. So, as you know, you and I have been to probably the last 18 Super Bowls together. First time I've been to this DNC stuff, okay? Little different, Marshawn. It's kind of like the Super Bowl in some respects, without the day parties.
They got the political groupies outside?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to see what that political girl talking about. You know what I mean? What they talking about? What that political girl do? I want to see what that political folk do. You know what I'm talking about?
Hey, so Anthony, I got a question for you. You grew up in LA, obviously, came from Compton. Marshawn came from Oakland.
Yeah.
And you got to find your way out. He had to find his way out. He did, obviously. You did too. A huge fan of your work and what you've done. Your career has been incredible. You've been a hard worker, done your thing. Did you always want to get into show business, or how'd you get out of there, get into what you got to do?
This is all I ever wanted to do since I was 9 years old. Right. I'm the oldest of 4 kids. My mother was a failed actress back in the day. She's still a horrible actress, but she's working now.
Horrible.
Oh, yeah. But she was in the production at Compton Community College of A Raisin in the Sun. And me and my 2 younger brothers were in the back of the theater at the time, and I looked up on stage, and I said, that's what I'm going to do with the rest of my life.
Wow.
I only wanted to do 3 things. I wanted to play football for the Dallas Cowboys, I wanted to be a lawyer, and I wanted to be an actor. And at 9, I realized that if I became an actor, I could become all 3 of those things and whatever else I wanted to become in life.
Love that. I mean, you literally had that clarity?
Yeah.
I mean, no BS.
No BS.
That's not a story that you're not telling yourself.
No, it's real, man.
You literally looked up, said, this is what I'm going to do.
I was in the backstage, in the back of the theater playing with my brothers and my 2 brothers, and I looked up and just saw them doing what they're doing, and instantly I said, that is what I'm going to do with the rest of my life.
How did you manifest it? You just started?
Any opportunity I got to be in front of a captive audience, be it singing in the church choir, singing solos in choir, and I can't sing, reading aloud in school, spelling bees, anything that got me in front of an audience, I jumped at the opportunity. And then I sought out, acting conservatories and acting classes and whatnot at an early age. Went to the High School for the Performing Arts, went to Howard University as a theater major. So, but since the age of 9, I put the hours in, and that's what I've been doing.
But that's really, it's interesting that you had that mindset of in front of any audience, because that kind of describes your career today, right?
Yeah.
From the Emmys to Plug and Play with Kimmel, to doing these games. Back to anywhere there's a damn audience.
Yeah, I've always been fearless.
Yeah.
I've always been fearless and confident in who I am and authentic to myself.
You know what's so interesting, Marshawn? You're the same damn way. But how the hell? How do you? Is that your parents? Is that your upbringing to find that fearlessness?
I know one thing. You guys both have good mamas. I know Mama Lynch.
Oh,
I know Mom Anderson.
Oh, wait, hey. Your mama play bingo, Marshawn?
You goddamn right.
Then come on, man. That's why my mama wouldn't come to the White House to visit Obama, because she had a bingo tournament.
And ain't nothing gonna stop a mama from getting to that bingo. You know what I'm talking
Not
about?
at all. So we definitely got to get
not even the
together.
motherfucking president.
Yeah, exactly. We got to get together, man, and get our mothers together, because that's what it is, man. It was upbringing, but it's also something that I believe we were born with. It was instilled in us as well, but we were born with that, man, and that's something that you can't get away from. Yeah.
Because you've always been real, Anthony. I've always loved what you've done. You've always been real. He's always been real, and even right now, you're here. A lot of people don't want to mess with the political stuff. You're here. Marshawn's doing a show with us. Because you know what? At the end of the day, you don't give two shits. You want to do what's right for you, right for your family. Am I right?
Yeah, exactly.
And live your life that way.
Exactly. I mean, isn't that why we're here?
Yes.
Voting is my black job. That's what my parents say, Marshawn. Voting is my black job. We got to make a difference. You 100%. Know what I'm saying? And I keep telling these kids, whenever I go back to the hood, whenever I go back to Compton or whatnot, we got to start from an economic base, first and foremost. But also, we can't wait for every 4 years to make a vote. We got to vote locally at the local level. Superintendents, school supervisors, or whatever they call comptrollers and all that. We got to vote for things that affect us directly in our neighborhood.
You got it.
Because those are the people that really are going to have an effect on our lives.
Damn, I'm glad you said that, because I for sure was finna get on Gavin and Doug ass like, man, y'all at this shit right now to run DNC. You know what I'm talking about? Who in that motherfucker got a voice, to stand up and, look at it from a perspective of what you just gave right now. So I'm glad you in that motherfucker. And I don't want you to, miss a beat without, educating my two sons, on some shit that you just spoke about. Because, we had these talks all the time.
Yeah, no, definitely.
You hear from an outside, you know how kids be when they hear their parent talking like, that's just Pops, he just talking shit. But, when they hear from somebody else, it starts to resonate with them. You feel me?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean,
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, no, that's being a parent, man. I sit down, you met my son. Both of you guys met my son at the game, so he doesn't listen to me because I'm his father.
Right.
But he'll listen to Marshawn, he'll listen to you guys, and you guys are saying the exact same thing. Amen. So it's good that we look, it takes a village. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and sometimes the people in the village didn't always listen to the head of the village. It comes from the other elders. And that's what happens in our community. That's what happens within our family. And so, I'm glad you said that, Marshawn. And I'm just here to have my voice and to do what I do, man.
What was it?
I appreciate that.
Were there folks in the community? I mean, who were the big mentors? Who were the people you looked up to in Compton growing up?
First and foremost, my parents. Yeah. But then, it's just crazy. The kids, my boys that were in the street.
Really?
Yeah. They had some of the most brilliant minds. If only they had directed that towards something else than the street, than drugs and gangs and all that. I was like, yo, man, you can run a Fortune 500 company. I see how you're running these blocks, but it's all about circumstance. So those are the guys that I looked up to and took a page from their book, and they looked out for me. Yeah. They made sure I stayed away from that. They supported me in every way that I could, but also were big brothers to me and was like, yo, no, Aunt, stay away from this shit. Yeah. This shit ain't for you. Because I wanted to get into it. I wanted to be a part of the fast money. I wanted to get the girls. I wanted to get the cars. I wanted to get all that shit. But it didn't work. And they were like, no. You got a bigger future than this.
So it's interesting because Marshawn says the same thing about him in Oakland with the streets in terms of sports.
Yeah.
So is it obviously they knew you were going entertainment and that was your path? Is the same way for other kids that were doing other things too? Is they recognize who might have the ability to get out and like, no, don't touch him.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. They saw in me what I saw in myself.
Okay.
Because again, this was a journey and a path that I started at 9 years old. So these are the kids that watched me grow. Right. Even though they may have been a few years older than me, they saw what I was doing. I played ball. I did all this other shit with them, but they saw me, and my nickname was the actor. They were like, oh, here comes the actor. Okay, the actor's here. But, they looked out for me. They gave me money when I needed money. They gave me cars when I needed cars, to go out on dates or to go on auditions and whatnot. They made sure I was taken care of, and they kept me insulated or protected from the world in which they were in, even though I lived in that bubble.
I love it.
Yeah.
Marshawn, you have a similar experience those early years, man?
Most definitely. And what he just described right now, that's a saying that we like to say was raised by OGs and not IG. You feel me?
Yeah.
IG is Instagram. OG's self-explanatory. But, you know what I mean, from listening to, you know what I mean, what he was just talking about, you have to have that type of village around you, considering, you know what I mean, the conditions that you in, because at the end of the day, it's more about survival. You know what I mean? A lot of the individuals who, you know what I mean, for me, and I can almost contest to the same for you, a lot of those individuals, that was what they did in order to survive, because that's what they knew.
Right.
The mindset in which you're talking about, a lot of these could have went and ran 500 fortunate companies. You got the brain power to do it, but your circumstances. And these individuals, they understand that, but for the time and where they at that point in time, they get caught up into the, you know what I mean, they get waist deep, knee deep, waist deep into it. And it ain't like something you could turn your back on once you in that shit. Once you in it, then you win it. But for the younger generation coming up, you know what I mean, you want to see them do better for you. So therefore, when you do that, their payoff is seeing you go and put that shit into action, whether it's, you know what I mean, acting, whether it's sports. You know what I mean? One thing that you said that resonated with me was a lawyer. I'm like, damn, you was thinking beyond. That's how, you know what I mean? Yeah. You was already outside the box before, you know what I mean, at 9 years old to see some shit a lot of us, we don't see. And to have that type of mindset and then put it into the fact, well, shit, if I act, you know what I mean, I could be that lawyer. I could be that doctor. I could be that motherfucking politician or whatever the case may be, and bring that shit full circle and still be able to put on for individuals who might not see it the way that you do. But now you got a different type of, you know what I mean, you say you vote black, but now you got a different responsibility to the black community. And that's to give the ism back now that you done conquered, you know what I mean, your position and where you at. So hell yeah, you feel me? You know what I mean?
That's my come on, dog. We got to chop it up when you're back, man, because it's all about pay.
It's exactly how Doug and I talk when we're together. I mean, it's exactly.
Just look at the candidates. Kamala cares about kids and families, cares about America. Donald only cares about himself. On her first day in court, Kamala said 5 words that still guide her. Kamala Harris, for the people. That is something that Donald Trump will never understand. So it is no surprise, is it, that he is lying about Kamala's record. He's mocking her name and her laugh. Sounds familiar. But we have him on the run now.
I come from a state like our nation of dreamers, of doers, of entrepreneurs, of innovators that prides itself on being on the leading and cutting edge of new ideas. California is the most diverse state in the world's most diverse democracy. And Democrats, I've had the privilege for over 20 years to see that future taking shape with a star in Alameda courtroom by the name of Kamala Harris. I saw that star fighting for criminal justice, racial justice, economic justice, social justice. I saw that star get even brighter as Attorney General of California, as a United States Senator, and as Vice President of the United States of America. It's time for us to do the right thing, and that is to elect Kamala Harris as the next President of the United States of America. California, we proudly cast our 482 votes for the next president, Kamala Harris.
I want to ask you a question, and you may not remember this. And Marshawn, this is interesting. As you know, as an agent I am, I remember back in 2007, I'm with you with Justin Tuck's event. Yeah. And we're at the bar before the event he had.
In New York?
In New York.
Okay.
And I think he might have just had a show canceled. Something happened, right? And never forget, we're sitting there at the bar having tequila. And you're between stuff. And tell me your mindset back then, because you're going in your career, and unlike sports where the phone might stop ringing or you got to get a tryout, whatever it may be, you're between jobs. I don't know what it was, but I'll never forget, we're sitting there, you're between stuff, and you don't know when the next thing's coming.
Right.
So the mentality of an actor, because Marshawn's now an actor, how do you go through that process? Like, I gotta do, are you calling your agent? You calling your manager? Are you like, shit, I hope something comes in? How's your mindset when you're between stuff and this is your livelihood?
You know, it's all about being your authentic self, right? The industry and your agents and your managers, I don't need to call them if I'm in between gigs. They know what their job is. They know what their hustle is. And it's to hustle up the next thing for me. But for me, it was also about creating that next opportunity. Yep. Because if that opportunity, if I'm looking for things and things aren't being written for me, stories aren't being written about me or about the culture that I'm from or anything that I could be a part of, I have to create those things for myself. And that's what I was able to do with my very first television show, All About the Andersons, I created. Blackish, and creating that with my partner, Kenya Barris, and telling our story. So it's just it's about creating those opportunities for yourself and not sitting back and waiting on somebody to bring you something or create something for you that may not be right for you. And then you have to conform to that. It's like, no, I want to tell my story.
So I love everything you just say. We talk in political terms, say, the future's not something to experience, it's something to manifest. Decisions, not conditions, determine our future. But this notion of having agency, again, is that just, was that I just think it's fascinating you've had that mindset and you've had that self-confidence. But ultimately, what you continue to say that I think resonates most with me, and I know in terms of my appreciation for Marshawn, this notion of authenticity, you keep bringing that up. And just being yourself. Was that something, again, nature, nurture? Was that something mom said?
It's just how I was raised, and it's just who I am. And I think that's what endures Marshawn and myself to the public the way that it does. Yeah. They look at Marshawn, they look at myself, and it's like, yo, that's my man on the block. That's my uncle. That's my cousin. That's my family right there. Yeah. And I think that's what has resonated with people around the world, in particular for me, because they see me, they see themselves up there. They see someone that's unapologetic, that's doing it their way, that doesn't mind making mistakes, and we learn from those things, man. And going back to, something that Marshawn was saying earlier, it's about paying it forward. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Going back, to the cats that we grew up with who saw something in us and invested in us so that we could be in the positions that we're in right now. So now it's my responsibility to go back and lift as I climb. That's what it's all about. And that's what I do. And I believe that's what Marshawn has been doing with his foundations. I've been following you, brother. I've been seeing what you're doing. I've been a fan of yours for a long time, man.
Hey, man, spit that ism though. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And then, one thing that I just went I went crabbing for the first time.
Okay.
I enjoyed the fucking experience like a motherfucker, right?
Yeah.
And as I'm catching the crabs and I'm throwing them in the barrel, you feel me? I was so excited about, I got a crab. Oh, I got another one. Oh, I got 4-piece. I got a 2-piece. And I'm throwing them in there. And then you feel me, at the end of the experience, at the end of the trip, I look in the bucket and I'm like, oh shit. This is the mentality that I heard, the crab in the bucket type of situation. And I was like, damn, from looking at it and actually seeing it with my own eyes, I'm like, oh, fuck. It resonated to me so much on a deeper level that I'm like, damn. But what it sounds like when you speak is more so your mindset and your mentality was to shake that shit.
Yeah.
Not be, you feel me though, a prisoner of the fucking, whether it be the fucking police officer, down the street, or the motherfucking teacher or the principal who tell you ain't gonna be shit, that you're gonna be dead or in jail by the age of 18 because they so used to putting that type of fucking, I'm gonna say motherfucking spell on us because they
Right.
using those words, you know what I mean, to trap our mind and to believe that shit. Cause it was up until I was 19, 20, when I'm looking at it like, damn, I'm not in jail, nor am I dead.
Right.
Like, oh, these are extra lives that I got right now. You know what I mean? I'm looking at it like that. Like I just got a green mushroom and now I got an extra life. All right, now I got another time to try this. You know what I mean? When you talk about, looking at it from not making a mistake, from making a mistake and being comfortable with that, knowing that motherfucker, I ain't perfect. You know what I mean? I'm going through this thing called life and I might have been given, you feel me though, the short end of the stick, but I'm going to make sure I rock how I rock. And I'm gonna enjoy this shit, but at the same time, I'll make sure I bring individuals along with me who, for sure, didn't have an opportunity or a chance. Yes. But now I get to show individuals because anything I do is almost like ain't nothing new under the old moon. You feel what I'm talking about?
Right.
And you know what I mean? There has been innovators and motivators. You know what I mean? Before there was even a thought of a Marshawn Lynch. And now when you talk about paying it forward, like you know what I mean, you say you vote black. You know what I mean? I fuck with my niggas and it's almost all right. Look, I'm not the first one to do this. I'm not the last one to do this. But hey, check it out. Don't get caught up with that mindset that we got to be the crabs in a bucket. Fuck that. Right. Create our own situation.
I love the crabs in the bucket.
Crabs in the bucket.
To go beyond. You know what I'm talking about? To go beyond what an individual is gonna put on us to make us wear that shit. Like that's who we are. You know what I'm talking about?
Hey, let me ask you a question. So you grew up a sports guy, and you're also a political guy.
Yeah.
You could trade places with Marshawn going to the Hall of Fame, winning a ring, or the governor. What do you growing up? What do you want to do?
Oh,
you could be governor, or you could be Marshawn in terms of his career.
Shit, I'm Marshawn Lynch all day, every day, baby.
Really?
I'm Marshawn Lynch all day, every day, baby.
This was going on.
I know the shit you go through. I don't want to go through that shit.
Actually, no, I
don't want to go through that shit.
I'm gonna tell you G shit. When they put out the picture and the press release, I wasn't even aware of it. You feel me? Because I don't run my Instagram. So as I'm walking through the airport, I'm on my way to go and shoot our first episode.
Yeah.
And a motherfucker walk up to me like, you fucking scumbag. You're fucking terrible. And I'm looking at take my earphone on like, what's up? I'm just here so I won't get fined. Like, what? Fuck you scumbag. And I'm like, oh shit. Oh, that hit different.
Yeah.
Hey, you cool, bro? Like, fuck you. You fuck with Gavin Newsom and
association. Yeah, this is the story I was just telling you. I mean, it's deeper. You know what I mean?
A whole different ball game.
Right.
Marshawn, you should walk the mean streets of the convention with me.
Yeah,
at the DNC, you'd have a different feel, a different sense.
Oh yeah, it's a different. Yeah, it's a different.
It's Monday through Sunday.
Yeah.
For me.
So Anthony, I think Marshawn. One thing I appreciate about him, the mental health part. When at the press conference, take care of your mentals.
Yeah.
Take care of your chicken.
Yeah.
For you, I appreciate you doing the mental health. I mean, doing the men's health stuff for men that people don't want to do.
Right.
Getting the exams and whatnot.
Yeah.
Take me through your mindset on the health part of it, of what you've been so passionate about.
Well, I'm a type 2 diabetic. I was the first person diagnosed in my family with type 2 diabetes. Then my mother became diagnosed with it. And then later on down the line, my father, we found out is a type 2 diabetic, but had been undiagnosed for more than 20 years. And I realized that from the symptoms that I had when I first was diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic, thinking back to my childhood, my early teenage years, I was like, oh shit, that's what my dad was going through back then. But as a black man, and it's unfortunate that within our community, our men rarely go to the hospital unless an appendage is falling off or something like that. But regular shit, we don't do. So I partnered with Novo Nordisk to start this campaign about getrealaboutdiabetes.com. And it's just more of an informational website that people can go to get information about being a diabetic and the things they should ask their doctors, the things that they should look out for. But it's more so me traveling the country and having these conversations within our community about, go get yourself checked out, man. Go to the doctor because you get your oil changed in your car every 3,000 miles.
Amen.
But you don't want to go to the doctor every 6 months, every 4 months, every quarter, because if you go, because they're afraid of what they might find.
Right.
I was like, well, okay, well, you go. It might be preventative.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or they may find something and it's not too late.
Yep.
But if you don't go at all, that's it. You know, I lost my father to complications from diabetes because he was undiagnosed for 20 plus years and it ravaged his life. So
and if he went
that's what I do.
He would have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. That's what it is. And another thing, I just want to go back to what Marshawn was saying. You know, he had turned 19 or 20 and realized that, you know, he had a green mushroom and he got extra lives. You know, I was so proud when I reached a certain age that I wasn't the statistic that society said that I may be coming from the place that I came from. And I sit here today as a 54-year-old man with the success that I've had.
5'4", bro?
Yeah, just turned 5'4" on Thursday, baby. Really? August 15th.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, by the way,
thank you,
happy
brother.
birthday's right.
First of all, congratulations. You don't look a day over. I think I thought I had you though. You know what I mean?
Hey, Marshawn, you know black don't crack.
Can't say that shit.
You know that shit chip around the corners a little bit, but it don't crack.
Hey, man, on God, I respect it, my boy. Damn, I didn't know you was OG like that.
Yes, sir. So to sit here as a 54...
What the hell, 54 ain't that goddamn
Hey, he's a little older over here, Marshawn.
Hey, you guys bitching about it. We're acting like we're some goddamn ancient,
but look here. But to be 54, coming from where we've come from, seeing what we've seen and experiencing what we've experienced, I can tell you this, there are not too many 54-year-olds from my block. That I grew up with.
I get it.
And there's not too many 38-year-olds from my hood. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Most of them I done either buried or I got to get on the jack and talk to them while they in the pen.
Exactly. And that's how it is for me.
So your 54 ain't really a 54. Your 54, you feel me? Fresh.
Well, you know, our 54 today is different than the 54 that we grew up with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
On my mama.
Exactly.
Be 54.
Yeah, and to be 54 sitting here on a Zoom with you in an undisclosed location, sitting next to the governor and sitting next to Doug, who does what he does on the big level. Yo, I'm winning.
Hey, so Anthony, here's a beautiful thing.
Publishing shit, you understand me?
We talked about this other day with Marshawn. So this is the year Marshawn's going to go to the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah.
But guess what else we did? We talked to Kimmel the other day.
Okay.
And Kimmel said, listen, my favorite host is Anthony Anderson.
Yes, sir.
So we also have to campaign for you to take that job over when he retires. He mentioned to us, he's probably going to walk away.
Yeah.
We said, hey, boom, well, who's the next host? It might be you.
He knows.
So now we got a position for that.
He knows, man. Next to Adam Carolla, I've sat on Jimmy Kimmel Live more than anybody that's ever been there, and I've hosted or co-hosted the show more than anyone that's come on. And Jimmy's my guy, and he knows that whenever he leaves, I'm putting my bid in to take over.
Oh, you're not even hiding.
Show and being a doing that, hey man, that's different.
Yeah.
We had a conversation where, I say when we look at the individuals from our neighborhoods, I mean, we don't see too much. You got, I mean, the most successful motherfuckers that we seen that done touch, I mean, some chicken probably come from, I mean, pimping, hustling, drug dealing, I mean, just trying to make ends meet. But when I look at this young individuals, well, you ain't in front of me, but you know what I mean? You get the point. Yeah. And then I'm like, okay, from the movies to the producing, the directing, all the shit, you know what I mean? To talking about being the next host for the Oscars type shit.
Yeah.
Are we doing that?
I'm throwing my name in the hat for it too, because Jimmy walked away from that too.
Got that up too.
I've already done the Emmy, so we gonna see. But you know what? You got to claim it, and that's what I do. I claim it as my own if it's meant for me to have. And just manifest it.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how I live my life.
It's up to us to remember what Kamala's mother told her. Don't just sit around and complain. Do something. So if they lie about her, and they will, we've got to do something. If we see a bad poll, and we will, we got to put down that phone and do something. If we start feeling tired, if we start feeling that dread creeping back in, we got to pick ourselves up, throw water on our face, and what?
I'll be getting out every day to help people get out and vote on November 5th and elect Kamala Harris and Tim Walz as the next president and vice president of the United States. After the results are tallied that night, we can, in the words of the great Steph Curry, we can tell Donald Trump, night, night. Thank you.
What do you want to do the next 5-10 years? Besides the Kimmel Show and all that, what else excites you that you want to do that you haven't done or do again? Movies or TV or whatever it may be.
Continue in my lane as an actor, movies, TV and all that, but also give other people the opportunity to tell their stories who may not have the opportunity now. Mm-hmm. We stand on the shoulders of those before us. And it goes back to me saying, it's my responsibility to lift as I climb. So somebody made an opportunity or made a way for me to do what it is that I'm doing. So it's my responsibility to make a way for the next generation. So that's what I want to do. I want to get more involved in having people tell their stories and producing things with and for them. That's what I want to do. I'm going to continue to be in front of the camera as an actor and behind the camera as a director. But more so, I want to get on the production side and build brands for other people.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
And how do you think this brand building's going for Kamala Harris?
Hey, man, we both HU graduates.
Now you want to get political with your big head ass.
Yeah.
We're both HU graduates. Look at your boy.
So we're going to see. We're going to see.
You went back and got your damn...
I went back. Yeah, I went to Howard in 88. I was supposed to graduate in 92. I ran out of money. I couldn't call home and ask my parents to send me money. I was the oldest of 4 children. So I went back home with every intention on returning back to Howard University to graduate, but then life gets in the way. Get married, start having kids, my career takes off. My son got accepted to Howard University in 2018, and I was like, you know what, son? You've inspired me to go back to college. So I'm going to walk with you in 2022.
You walked with your son?
Yeah, but unfortunately, real life got in his way, Marshawn, and he dropped out after his freshman year, but okay. I walked in 2022.
Okay, but you was in school at the same time as him?
Yeah. So I hope that was an inspiration for him to see me walk across the stage and get my degree. And he was like, okay, because he's following in my footsteps. He's a young actor. He's had several shows. He's talented.
Did you want him to go down your path or no?
No, it was something he chose to do on his own.
Okay.
Yeah, it was something he chose to do on his own.
Did you try to tell him not to get into it or you couldn't talk? Or no?
No, I didn't want it. If that was his passion,
got it.
He saw... He was born into this lifestyle that we have, and he saw what it did for our family because of my hard work, and he wanted to be a part of that. And I can't deny and be like, no, man, don't do this. Don't go into the family business. I was like, no, you see what the family business has done for us. and he's talented.
And just like it, go ahead and tell Brown like, hell yeah, bro, I appreciate what you did. You know what I mean? You get to rock out with your son.
Yeah,
I think we need to normalize what you did with, with your little one at the same time too, though.
100%.
Yeah, everybody's doing it, man. Yeah,
that's a motherfucking blessing.
So I support him, man, and he's talented, and he's doing this thing, and he works. Very cool. Yeah, he works. Yeah.
Well, you're working and pretty much everywhere. Congrats on all of your success.
No problem. Thank you.
Congrats on that damn degree.
Thank you, sir.
And thank you for taking the time.
But Anthony, by the way, I want you to ask Gavin the same question. Give me a question you want to ask him. Because that's real. I mean, by the way, you know we do things like but here's the deal. Like
I have questions.
But here's the deal. What I love about Marshawn, Anthony, is people go up to him and you. And what do they want? They want to immediately get a picture.
Yeah.
No one wants to say, hey, man, how you doing?
Yeah.
How's your career?
Exactly.
What would you have done differently? What would you have done? So people don't ask these things. I like to ask questions.
Okay, I got it.
I want to know what question you want to ask.
As an entertainer who's born and raised in California, who works in California, who's upset when we have to take our business out of California. I'm just curious, and this isn't your fault. I'm just curious.
Oh, no, you can blame it on him. That's good.
No. I'm just curious as to why don't we have the tax incentives that Canada, Georgia, Florida, all these other states have, especially when Hollywood is in the backyard of California, Los Angeles. This is our industry.
Yep.
Why are we exporting our goods to all these other places?
We put our feet up. We stopped investing in our lead in the world we invented. It's competing with us all around the globe, as you know better than anybody. That said, I increased those tax incentives to $330 million a year.
Okay.
We also loosened up the requirements and stipulations on how you access those tax credits. And we're looking to continue to build on that and expand them. Deeply mindful.
Yeah.
Well, there's criteria for access. And by the way...
Oh, shit. They go to red tape.
No, we tried to eliminate the damn red tape. with the new changes, Marshawn. I listened. We significantly increased them from where they were just a few years ago. It would literally triple where we were just a few years ago. But I agree, it's not yet near where we need to be against Georgia, New York.
We go to these places, there's a 30% tax credit, a 40% tax credit.
I just got finished shooting a film with I don't even know if I'm supposed to say the name, but shit, with Love, and we went and shot the motherfucker in Winnipeg.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think I want to say it was because I was telling somebody that I think Georgia had the best tax credits for, the entertainment space. And they was telling me, I think it was like 70%.
It's something
it's crazy. I mean, and the problem is for us, it's a race to the bottom because the cost would be astronomical. And you look across the spectrum of issues from biotech, life science, nanotechnology, obviously the AI space. Everybody's chasing those incentives. Mm-hmm. And in California, I mean, I think we're trying to differentiate what's our added value, the creativity, to create a climate where people feel welcome, feel included, can fully express themselves, to continue to maintain that talent base. But it's harder and harder, and I recognize that with the bleed. Once folks move, and then you've got the studios out in places like Georgia. So look, we're deeply mindful of this, and we, despite some of the budgetary constraints, maintained those commitments, and we're looking to advance them. So it's a legit question.
2 more questions. How can we?
There we go. Getting his ass, man.
Just getting to the tax thing. California. I'm born and raised in California. It's an expensive place to live.
Understand.
Can you just explain to me why our state income tax is what it is, and why does it continually increase in increments or whatnot compared to the rest of the country or whatnot?
So, the vast majority of Texans pay more in taxes than Californians.
Okay. And they have much more money, too, because of the oil.
Well,
can we say that?
There is. Well, that's true, and it's not true. But
there's a lot of companies that's moving out of California to Texas.
And a lot of companies, in fact, moved back to California. Since 2014, we've never had more Fortune 500 companies than we do today.
Okay.
We actually just broke that record. That said.
Yeah, they could pay for that shit, though. I had to move Beast Mode apparel up out that motherfucker because they was treating me.
It all comes back to
Hold on. I need to finish.
Hold on 1 second, Beast Mode. Hold on.
I got you.
What's interesting about our tax, we have the most progressive tax rate in America. Okay. And the tax rate is is highest for the 1%. Mm-hmm. For middle class, we're about average compared to other states. And so it's about who you're for. I'll give you an example. In Florida, the 1% are taxed less than the bottom 20%. I mean, that's a value proposition. Think about that. And so, yes, California has a high tax rate, but not high taxes.
Right. Okay.
Compared to many other states across the spectrum. Property taxes, sales tax, you look at payroll tax, you look at all of those taxes, you stack them all together. California is slightly above average, lower than some of those red states for the vast majority of our residents, but not for the 1%, that 13.3% that you pay.
Yeah.
And so you're in that rarefied air, and that has not increased since 2011.
Okay.
It was 2011. The voters approved that tax rate. The only tax increase you have had is the elimination of the state and local tax deduction. Yeah. And that was a Trump tax increase.
Oh, trust me. Yeah.
Anthony, real talk. When Marshawn, you were coming on, he was so excited. So we want, honest and true story, we want to thank you, man, because he was like, giddy to talk to you. He's excited.
From his undisclosed location.
Yeah, that starts with a C.
My client was your cousin and whatnot, so I've known you a long time.
Yeah.
We love what you're all about. We love what you do.
Thank you.
And this is what our show is all about. We want to bring guys like you on that get it, that are real, authentic, understand life on borrowed time, live life the fullest, enjoy it as well.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're gonna have a couple drinks tonight, right?
Yes, sir.
After this tonight.
Yeah, we ain't gonna stop
and whatnot. We don't know where he's at. He's having one right now.
That's okay. Hey, Beast Mode, I'm gonna put one in the air for you myself tonight.
Yes, Lord. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna tell you this much. I don't know how the laws is over here, so I don't want you feel me? No Doty right now. But you know what I mean, I do got good cigars. Very, very good cigars, if you catch my drift.
I got you.
You know what I mean?
Undisclosed.
I'm going to make sure I'm going to dedicate at least a good minute and a half to just remember that my nigga done put up a good, that beautiful flower smell.
Yes, sir.
to put me in my element. So I
Yes,
can do
sir.
things right here.
Well, Marshawn, you enjoy your rest of your trip there. Anthony, we appreciate you, man. We all got to hang in Cali when we're back in Cali.
Let's do it.
that, okay? And let's get a movie together, you two guys, at some point. We got to see that.
Marshawn, I need your info, man. I'm going to get it from Doug. Is that cool?
Hell yeah. But look, though, when you do got a situation going on, because it ain't even got to be no road. It could just be, hey, come down just to check out what's going on, just so I could see. You feel me? I'm more of a visual learner. You feel me, though?
Yes, sir.
Me and Doug like to joke, public school, you know what I mean? I was in special resource classes, you know what I mean? So you know what I mean? My learning capability, I have to actually be there.
God, here we go. Oh, yeah.
Here we go.
What's really going on.
Really? My ears.
All right.
I got you.
Sean, we love you, baby.
Thank you,
We love
Respect,
you.
man.
King. All right, Big Smoke.
Big dog. Hell
You
yeah,
got
man.
it. All right.
Yeah.
And with your help, she will lead with joy and toughness, with that laugh and that look, with compassion and conviction. She'll lead from the belief that wherever we come from, whatever we look like, we're strongest when we fight for what we believe in, not just against what we fear. Kamala Harris was exactly the right person for me at an important moment in my life. And at this moment in our nation's history, she is exactly the right president.
All right, Mr. President. It's good to have you at the convention. What the hell is it like?
My own convention.
Your own convention. Your own convention. But what was it like? I mean, you participated in a number of previous Democratic conventions. I think the big one for you was 2016.
Yeah, that was the first time I was on the stage.
Yeah.
Right.
And we're nervous as hell?
That one I was nervous as hell. Because I had never done that before. And it's a very unusual environment. Really, to walk out on this stage in this huge arena with all the noise, it's different. At that time, we were doing the show Scandal, and I was playing the president, and Kerry Washington, who'd done it before, I said, do you have any advice for me? She'd done it in 2012, I think. Yeah. And she said, all I can tell you is it's the most nervous I've ever been in my entire life. I was like, oh, thanks a lot.
But that's wild to me as an actor. I mean, that you're always performing. Don't you look at it as just like another performance? Kinda. Or is it just way out of the element?
No, it is the same. I mean, actually, in 16, I stood, backstage getting ready to go on, and my heart started pounding really hard. And so I said to myself, I'm the goddamn president of the United States. And then I walked out.
Is it literally a
in my head,
mantra?
I was like, yeah. So I walked down. That was very helpful.
No, Tony, big fan of yours in terms of what you've done your whole career. And so coming out here you killed it the other day. And everyone loved what you did. It's all over the internet of what you did and how you did and all that stuff. So was it anything you prepared in terms of the last years of Scandal coming out allows you to come out and do what you did?
Well, you kind of learn. I mean, I thought doing that show, I realized that, Governor, there was a certain theatricality and a performance aspect to the job of being you have to do. So the thing that shocked me as an actor when I started doing Scandal is that people started treating me with this deference as if I was actually the president of the United States.
Wild, huh?
And it freaked me out. And then I was like, oh, everyone who assumes office is just a normal person who is doing that job and has to figure out how to find themselves.
It's interesting.
So I thought that was very interesting. And so then, the kind of imposter syndrome that sometimes we feel, you just go, well, no, I'm just going to play the role because that's what I'm doing, and I thought that must be part of the job anyway, and you get used to it.
That's wild. Yeah. So what do you recommend, acting or politics? I mean, or are you going to stay?
For me, I got to stick with acting. I would be no good at politics.
Well, what do they say about politics? It's acting for ugly people. So you're good, brother. No, trust me, hardly. But so it's an interesting, for me, for people to put themselves out. It's such a polarized time. People are talking past each other. Everybody seems to be in their camps. I mean, it takes a little guts for you and your profession to come out and do something again and assert yourself. I mean, you got to really believe in this stuff. This is not, I mean, this is in your soul. Have you always had a political sort of bug and energy?
I've always been fascinated with politics, and I've always been felt that as soon as I had a platform, that felt a bit fraudulent just for its own sake. I was like, I'm an actor. But when I realized I could use it to advocate for, initially it was advocating for causes or on issues specifically, the first campaign I was ever a part of was Hillary's campaign in 16. Because they asked me to, they knew I was a supporter, and then I said, sure, that sounds really interesting. So I've always been fascinated with it, but also I felt like if you have the platform, you should have the courage to use it for what you believe in. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, and the people I most respect in my world, whatever their beliefs are, you know, that they're not afraid to put themselves out there because they're worried about what someone's going to think or.
Well, Tony, we always say Marshawn and I, our co-host Marshawn, who's not here tonight, but he's listening, and me and Gavin, we all say we're on borrowed time. And I appreciate that because so many people are hesitant to jump in for a cause, and you've been doing that your whole life, the Innocent Project. But going back before that, as a growing up in your family, did you think about anything besides show business? Because your family's obviously an unbelievable, epic family in the show business. Did you ever think about going into finance or sports, anything else?
Well, you know, I'm like the third generation of entertainment industry in my family. So as a kid, I wanted to do anything but. I didn't know what. Yeah. And then I was too young to think about what I wanted to do. But then in high school, I started doing high school plays, only just because my older brother did it, and I wanted to be like him. And immediately was bitten. The bug got me, and I was like, "Oh no!" I think
it's so predictable.
So, and then I, thank God, because it's been. And now, once I was able to kind of find my footing in the profession, I felt so lucky to be part of Legacy. It's It's a really interesting thing to be a part of a multi-generational family industry.
I imagine that comes with expectations, but there's got to be some burden in that as well, right?
It was at first, yeah. It was, but I realized it was my burden to figure out. In my 20s, before I kind of found my identity or my sea legs, it was hard having a famous last name and having everybody come up, "Oh, I know your dad," or my brother was very successful, my older brother, and so. But then I knew, I was like, I just got to push through, because honestly, no one really cares. People don't care.
Right.
They care if you're good, if you can do the job, or if not.
Amen.
You know what I mean? So, and whatever, sort of like we were talking about sticking your neck out for what you believe in. If someone's going to trash talk you for nepotism or whatever, it's like, that's fine.
Amen.
Yeah.
By the way, Doug mentioned the Innocence Project, which I appreciate, because we've been doing a lot of prison reform
out
in California, trying to model. But the Innocence Project, a lot of folks don't know much about it. How'd you get involved in the Innocence Project?
So I was I developed a movie that I directed that came out in 2010 called Conviction, which was a movie with Hilary Swank and Sam Rockwell. And it's a true story about a guy who spent 18 and a half years in prison for a murder he didn't commit.
Right.
And Sam played that character, and Hilary played his sister, Betty Ann Waters. And they were poor, uneducated kids from, outside Boston. And she was the only person who believed her brother was innocent. And she'd never graduated 10th grade. She decided, she said, if you stay alive, I will get you out of prison.
Yeah.
And she went to high school, got a GED, went to college, went to law school, became an attorney just to find a way to get her brother out. And she found this organization called the Innocence Project, which had pioneered the use of DNA to prove innocence. And she called Barry Scheck, my now dear friend Barry Scheck, who was here last night, and said, would you represent my brother? And they said, well, if you can find some DNA existing evidence, we'll maybe consider it. And miraculously, she found a 16-year-old box of bloody evidence in the courthouse of Boston, and they got him out. And so we made a movie of that, and then I found out about...
And by the way, phenomenal movie. I've seen it several times. It's a phenomenal movie.
Thank you. And so, yeah. Oh, look who's here.
Anthony.
How you doing?
What's up, brother?
Tony, stop talking.
What's up, man? How you doing, man?
Come on, you just played the president on television, man. This is real stuff.
I don't know. Dodger hat, man. I'm from San Francisco, brother. This is hard. I know it's hard. What's up, man?
Good to see you. All right. By the way, we're trying to get a Scandal reboot. We're trying to get you guys back on Scandal, you and Carrie, and we'll bring Anthony in as well.
Anthony on.
And we'll do a whole nother season.
Anyway, so that got me clued into the whole innocence movement and the work that Barry and his co-founder Peter Neufeld, and they're both two of the great civil rights lawyers in the country. And now the Innocence Project is the foremost civil rights, the foremost criminal justice reform organization in the country. So. It's
extraordinary and profound. And it goes. so much of conversation about being, rich
I just talked to
and guilty versus being poor and innocent sort of manifests in so much of the work that they're unwinding and reconciling. But that's great. So you've maintained that commitment.
Oh yeah, on the
in
board
support
and
advocacy.
do everything that I possibly can. Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah.
Well, appreciate you coming out and doing this year was a little different for you though. You didn't it wasn't one and done. You were the MC.
MC of the first night. Yeah,
a little stress. That's pretty good.
It was so stressed, but it was super cool.
But Tony, since you're a political guy, Tony, I want to ask you a question. I want you to ask the governor a question of one thing or two things you want to ask him that you haven't asked him.
Yeah,
really?
Because I get that all the time. I get that all the time. And I want to hear from you what you want to ask him.
No, I do have a question.
I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
How,
we didn't bet
in your
this.
view,
Jesus.
how do this energy we all feel? How do we maintain this momentum?
That's the key.
Between Thursday night and November.
We just had the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see anyone run the 90-yard dash.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it was like they were at peak. They were running a 110-yard dash. And that's got to be the mindset. We talked about Hillary Clinton. You're obviously in support. We were all out there. I think we all ran the 80-yard dash.
Right.
We kind of believe the punditry and the polls. We think we're going to dial this in. We just got to dial it up. We got to keep Donald Trump on the defense. Keep him on the mat. He's on the mat. He's flailing. He can't even throw a punch, let alone land a punch right now. And so we just have to keep that momentum. And that means everybody has to just double down, do more. No one has to worry as much as they were in the past. So we just have that maintain that momentum, the passion, action, and we can pull this thing out. But look, no one should underestimate Donald Trump.
Right.
No one, you just can't.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the T-Rex of the Republican Party, right?
Yeah.
He'll mate you or he'll devour you.
Yeah.
And so he's got that base locked up. And I'm worried about this RFK thing, too.
He's going to make an announcement or something soon?
Yeah, he may be jumping in. Who the hell knows?
Jumping in?
Anthony, do you know?
I want him to stay at home. Whatever. I hope that's his announcement, that he's going to stay home.
He's going to stay home?
Yeah, that's what I hope.
And you didn't stay home. You're here as well.
I'm here, baby. I showed up for you.
Oh, you showed up for me? In a Dodger hat. In a damn Dodger hat.
Top of my list, Kamala Newsom.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
And California all day long.
Between you and I thought that's what the ticket was going to be.
Really? I think we have enough Californians represented here, buddy. Jesus. And enough San Franciscans. I mean, let's stay on. We got to win this damn thing.
Yes.
Okay? Jesus. Well, Tony, it's amazing that you're here again. Thanks for all your support of the party, but more importantly, thanks to just the causes you're committed to and engaged in. The Innocent Project, top of mind, and thank you for all the work that you're doing for all of us. That was a spirited way to kick off the convention. The two nights you want, Monday night and Thursday night. See, he was prime time.
Okay.
That's when people tune in. As they're excited. So congrats.
All right.
Well,
thanks, Governor.
Thanks for
so
joining
great
us,
to see you. Yeah, right.
Yeah, thanks, Tony.